Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Pipe Wrench. PipeWrench.com is where you can learn more about this locally owned, family-owned company. They get great reviews. No plumbing or HVAC company in East Tennessee gets better reviews than Pipe Wrench. They win every one of these contests you see from the media outlets out there. They have 60 trucks making runs all over Knoxville every day, the Knoxville area, in fact, ready to help you when you need them. Visit PipeWrench.com to learn more. All right. Wanted to do something a little different in this segment. Wanted to start with, we'll start over there with Marlon and Vince, and I wanted to ask everyone to give me one player, if you could make them first team All-SEC, that you think that would guarantee Tennessee has a good year. So I got you out of order a little bit, but I'll let Marlon start. Marlon, who are you going with?
All right, I'm going with Big O, Amari Thomas, and I think of the Nick Fairleys, Robinson over at Alabama. If we got an all-SEC player on the inside, that means we're having a lot of success on defense.
All right, Vince?
Man, it's a great choice because if you're good stout in the middle, that's going to help that defense that needs the help. I'm going to go with maybe the obvious choice in Hendon Hooker. If Tennessee's quarterback is all first-team All-SEC ahead of Bryce Young at Alabama, this season is special and the W's are there. Everything else falls into place if it's Hendon Hooker.
That's it.
All right, very good. David Ubben, who are you going with?
I'm going to go with Trevon Flowers because you want to turn something that's a liability into a positive thing. And maybe a shout-out to Christian Charles or Andre Turrentine because the only thing better than a first-team All-SEC guy is a first-team All-SEC guy that's coming back next year. So,
all right, Josh Ward.
I'm going to stay in the secondary. I'm going to go with Kamal Hadden. And it doesn't necessarily have to be him, but we talked about that Purdue game a year ago without Alontae Taylor. Big-time question mark was created. You have an answer if Kamal Hadden is a first-team All-SEC corner, that number one guy, because you're going to face some number one receivers this year.
The obvious one that I would go with normally would be Jeremy Banks, but I'm going to switch it up just to play with this thing. Juwan Mitchell's back this year. He led Texas in tackles a couple of years ago. I'm going to say if Juwan Mitchell is first team All-SEC, it is a great year because that means, one, he's playing. Two, you've got two linebackers out there. You've got another guy aside from Jeremy Banks who can make things happen. So I'm going with Juwan Mitchell. Very bizarre choice. Chuck, who are you going with?
I think that's a good choice. I'm going with Tyler Barron. And I think what you need, this defense really needs, is you got to have more pressure off the edge. You got to get more sacks. That's going to help your secondary for sure. Pick third team All-SEC. If he's first team All-SEC, boy, that defense has got a chance to be really a lot better.
Jimmy?
Jabari Small, running back. Look, if he is better than either Tank Bigsby or Chris Rodriguez or Jamar Gibbs at Alabama, and if he's All-SEC, it means what? He's healthy. It means he's also going to have to gain at least 1,200 yards, which means it takes some of the pressure off Hendon Hooker at quarterback. So I'm going to go Jabari Small.
Is there anybody obvious we didn't mention?
Byron Young.
Yeah, Byron Young.
Okay, Byron Young.
Jalen Hyatt.
yeah.
Jalen Hyatt would be good. I'll go Darnell Wright, whichever side he winds up playing on. But whoever your left tackle winds up being, I'll go with the left tackle because that would be a pretty good sign for Tennessee. They have scrimmage coming up Tuesday. It is Tuesday, right? Is the next scrimmage? Mm-hmm. Then you got another scrimmage next Sunday morning. How big is this week for Tennessee? We've got about a minute here.
I think it's big. They've got to identify who that left tackle is, right? But, yeah, I think it's huge to try to find not just your starters but some depth. And so I think this is a big week in that regard.
Hey, and let's don't forget about the quarterback position. Everybody's talking Hendon Hooker. Mm-hmm. Who's QB2? Who's QB3? If you have to do that, and you may be going to be playing more guys, it sounds like, with what we've heard.
We have to end it right here. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to Marlon and Vince, David, Josh, Chuck, Jimmy. Appreciate you. Appreciate our sponsors. We will see you right back here next week live for the Sports Source. Thanks.